Yes, hello everybody. Welcome to our show, Walang Plastikan. Now, this is our second episode, and today we talk about what to do about the plastic in the sea, how to save the seas from plastic pollution. And before we will look into this, I want to share with you a little bit what is the current situation, and then we'll talk about the future. And then we'll talk about what can we do to stop the plastic. So here I want to give you a few numbers about the current plastic situation with and a picture with what it looks like. So we'll put up a slide. And what you can see here is that 13 million tons of plastic waste go into the ocean every year. So that is like one dump truck per minute. Or if you put 350 kilogram of garbage bags next to each other and you pile them up to the moon, that is what we are putting into our sea. And you see what it looks like here. It's equal to 400 billion bottles of plastic. So that we have 7 billion people on the planet, so that is about 60 bottles per person that we have here. And so if we continue like this, more fish will be there will be less fish in the ocean by 2050 than plastic waste. And the problem with the plastic is this: once it's in the ocean, it accumulates there, so it becomes more and more. And a lot of this plastic waste, it just not stays on the top of the water, it sinks down to the ground. So if you read the Inquirer last week, there was this Emden Deep expedition into the Philippine trench. That's 10,000 meters under the water, so 10 kilometers deep into the sea. And what did they see? What they found there are plastic bottles, jeans, diapers, all down there. And though the whole ocean floor is littered with waste, and there is no chance that we will get this out again. But a lot of the waste also stays on top, and it is washed into what you call gyres. So there are 5 gyres in the ocean where all the plastic waste comes together. And the biggest one is the Pacific Gyre. And you have islands there, new islands made out of trash. And the biggest one is 600,000 square miles. So how big is 600,000 square miles? That is twice the size of Texas. So ang laki talaga ng isla, ng basura doon. And it is doing a lot of damage, mga kapatid. It is harming ang mga animals sa dagat. So 1 million seabirds, it said, are dying because kumain sila ng plastic. They also found out 56% of all the turtles and 70% of all the fish have already ingested plastic. So nasa loob ng isda na ang plastic, and kung kumakain ka ng isda, kumakain ka na din ng plastic. So kung pupunta ka sa palengke, pwede mo na sabihin sa tindera, wag naman ilagay yung isda sa plastic kasi yung plastic ay nasa loob ng isda already. So the plastic we eat about is about the plastic that is in one credit card. We eat that every week. So you can say, my credit card na ako. Oh, no, it's not a good example. It's bad because it's doing also harm into your body. So this is the issue that we are dealing. This is what is happening right now into our oceans. Now, pwede mong sabihin, oh sige, stop na lang natin yung plastic. No, wag mo na gamitin yung plastic, and we have plastic bans everywhere. So the question is, pwede ba yon? So there are studies done that look into the future of plastic, and there was a study done by the Pew Institute in Systemic, and I want to unpack yung major finding ng study na ito, kung ano ang mangyayari at ano ang future natin. And what they have found out, kung kadaming plastic waste ang na-produce natin ngayon, by 2040, it will almost double. So here is another figure that shows that this, by now, we produce about 220 million tons of garbage, of plastic garbage, and about 60% we able to manage, but 41% not, and that was 2016, and 11 million go into the sea. But the way we consume, the way we produce plastic, by 2040, we will have 430 million tons of plastic waste taon. And so about 10% of this we are able to recycle, and then another 15% goes in the landfill, then about 20% can be incinerated, but then 56% is mismanaged. So that means so much garbage is mismanaged, and there will be about 29 million tons of garbage going into the ocean in 2040. So there are commitments. There are commitments by the government, by the industry, saying, okay, we'll reduce new plastic, we'll reduce garbage waste. But even with these promises, it's only 7%, as you can see in the next figure. So that the business as usual, and then the current commitments. So even by those current commitments that already done by the industry, you can see still 25 million tons of garbage will go into the sea every year. So what we are planning to do is not enough. Hindi sapat. Hindi sapat. So the question is, saan galing lahat ng plastic na ito? Bakit ganun kadami? And it's mostly coming from land-based sources. So it's mostly packaging waste or other plastic that we are using. And in the Philippines, ang problema natin is this. We have a long coastline. And we have maraming mga maliit na isla, and we have no waste management system. So lots of plastic goes into the sea. So they are saying about 500,000 tons from the Philippines going into the sea of plastic waste. So kaya number 3 ang Pilipinas. Ang Indonesia kasi mas maraming isla, instead of 7,000, 14,000, kaya doble. It will be about kaya number 2 ang Indonesia. Number 3 naman ang China, and it's more than Philippines and Indonesia together. And for China, you have also so many people, and you have all those rivers that wash in the garbage into the sea. And so, ang problema lang ay hindi yung coastline, pati yung mga ilog. Kasi ang basura itapon na lang sa ilog, then, pero hindi siya nawala, na doon na lang sa dagat. Can we go back to the last slide, please? We are a little bit too fast with the slides. So if we look at that figure again, we will see there is also the Pasig River with 38,000 tons of plastic waste that goes into the sea through the Pasig River. So how much is 38,000 tons? That is about 5,600 elephants. So it's like you're washing 5,600 elephants through the Pasig River every year, or 15 elephants per day. And that is the waste. So 5 tons per elephant. So 75 tons per day of garbage go in through the Pasig River. So parang conveyor belt ng plastic waste ang Pasig River natin. So this is where all the plastic is coming from. It's coming from all of us. tayo. And as we are consuming more, as we are becoming more people, we will have more plastic packaging, kaya tataas yung number. Now, that sounds very depressing, di ba? So the question is this, may magagawa pa tayo? Paano natin maihinto ito? And there is a systems change that the study is suggesting, where we can reduce it, but actually we cannot even totally eradicate ocean plastic. But we will able to reduce it significantly. So we'll see there are 4 strategies. The one is recycling, because only 9% of the plastic right now is being recycled. So if we invest into recycling, we can reduce a lot. Then we can reduce plastic instead of using other materials instead of plastic, or changing our consumer pattern. We can collect more plastic and dispose it properly. And so the whole systems change is in 8 aspects. There are 8 strategies that they are suggesting. The first is reduce the growth in plastic consumption. So that is something we need to do, and already happening. Bawal na ang straws, going topless with your coffee cups, using no more plastic bags. Maybe you bring your own bag to the store when you go shopping, and there are a lot of other things that can be done to reduce plastic consumption, lalo yung single-use plastic. Then you can substitute plastic with other suitable alternative materials. That could be paper, that could be glass bottles, for example. And then the third one is a very important one. It is iba design ng packaging materials, so it can be recycled. Like a lot of packaging material cannot be recycled, or it's difficult to recycle because there are multiple layers, lalo yung mga sachets, multiple layers being put together. You can not recycle, or it's not economical. It costs too much money to recycle it. So what the industry should be doing, lahat ng mga packaging material, all materials out of plastic should be recyclable, easily recyclable. So that is possible, and it takes some time. To expand the waste collection rates in the global south is another important aspect. At alamanin ninyo, actually ang mga informal waste pickers, they collect more plastic waste than the formal waste management system. So kaya ang mga bakal bote natin, they are the first environmentalists in our community. They're really helping us. And they are doing a very good job. That's why we should empower them, and we should help them so they can earn more by collecting more. Then we need to increase the mechanical recycling capacity globally. Kasi when we collect all the plastic, there are no recycling factories to recycle it. Hindi sapat ang bilang at ang kapasidad ng mga recycling factories. So we need investment into recycling, and that means also that the price of recycled plastic, or the incentives for the economy to use it, needs to be there. Kasi as long mas mura ang plastic galing sa crude oil kaysa recycled plastic, of course, industry will use the new plastic. So then it also be incentives to invest. Then we need to build safe waste disposal facilities. And if you go back to our first slide, you will see that a lot of the mismanaged plastic will just be open burned. And that is, of course, we know, very bad for the air pollution. Or there's also a lot of plastic that ends up not in the sea, but in the landscape. If you look, sometimes you go and the street and you see yung tabi ng kalsada, puro plastic lang. So there needs to be safe waste disposal facilities where there are standards of labor rights and protection for the people to work there. So that is very, very important na magkaroon tayo ng ganon. And then another issue we have is ang mga mayaman na bansa, katulad ng Germany, what we are doing, we are exporting a lot of our waste to places like Malaysia, kasi hindi na tumatanggap ng China ng plastic. So we need to send it somewhere else kasi kulang ang recycling facilities namin dito, so in-export namin. And then what happened there in Malaysia or Indonesia or even Philippines, it's just being dumped in a landfill. So we are just not solving the problem, we are just passing on the problem to somebody else. So that's not working. Now, the question is this will all cost a lot of money. If we do these 8 things, may bayad yon, may gastos yon. And it needs, but we need to look at the following question. Yung gastos ng system change, is it bigger than the gastos of the current situation? So please go back to the slide before. We chose the business as usual 2040 scenario. The next one, please. Yes, this one. So we see, just to clean up the mess we are creating will cost the government $670 billion, and it will cost the business community $10 trillion. And that means we are going to produce 400 million tons of plastic out of crude oil, with 29 million tons of plastic going into the sea. While, okay, we can say it creates jobs for 11 million people. So is that not good? Well, no, it's not. It's not very good. Because with the same money, we can do the system change. Isipin na natin yon, ano? It's the same like when you buy, what you will do with your money. You can buy soft drinks. You can also buy an apple for the same money. So it's the same money, but with the soft drinks, it's not healthy. With the apple, it's healthy. So where will you spend your money? Di ba dapat sa malusog, hindi sa hindi malusog. And so if you look at the next slide, the system change is actually costing less, 600 billion lang. Even para sa mga business establishment, it's less costly, and it creates even more jobs. And we will only use less than half of the virgin plastic, because all the plastic that we already producing, we can recycle it, and it is a lot of value. Because if we throw it away, the value is lost. Diba? Wala tayong pera na maitapon sa basura. We will keep it. So why should we throw away valuable material like plastic? That does not make sense, right? So how do we achieve this system change? Yun ang isang malaking tanong. So alam na natin kung ano ang dapat natin gawin. And the Bible also says, let's not just be hearers of the word, but doers of the word. So kung alam na natin kung ano ang tama, yun ang dapat na natin gawin. But it's hard. If you think about it, in the Philippines, we have the Zero Waste Management Act, Republic Act 9003, and it was not ratified yesterday. It was ratified in the year 2001. 20 years old na si Republic Act 9003. I was still a young and handsome guy. By that time, matanda na ako. Gray na ang bigote ko. So, we have the law. The problem is the implementation of the law. Kulang tayo doon. But it also means that all of us have to work together. We have to have the will, the political will, the economic will. So the gobierno, the industry, the civil society, we all have to work together. That's our only chance to solve this problem. It's doable. It's doable. We are not trying to do the impossible. And we say with God all things are possible. Why can we not solve this problem of plastic? We see now sa COVID, we can change our lives. It shows we can change our lives. We can stay at home. We do social distancing. We can do it. It's not nice, but we can. So why can we not do this, right? Now, in the company I'm working with, Plastic Bank, is a recycling company. We are working on point 4, increasing collection capacity in the global south. So we are also in the Philippines, we are in Indonesia, we are in Brazil, in Egypt, and Haiti. And we reached a very good milestone just this week. We collected 1 billion bottles of plastic waste that otherwise na sa dagat siya din pumunta. So if you look at the big numbers that I just presented, it's just maybe a drop in the bucket, but it's something powerful. It shows may magagawa talaga tayo. We can empower our Bakal Bote environmentalists to really change their life, and we can work together with them, partner with the industry to make a difference. And even in Plastic Bank, we have a program for churches and for schools to stop ocean plastic. And in 2 weeks, I have a special guest for you. This is, his name is Rene Guarin. He is the country manager for the Philippines of the Plastic Bank. And he will share with you how Plastic Bank collected 1 billion bottles and how you can become part of it and also work with us to collect the next billion and the next billion and the next billion until wala nang plastic na o papasok sa ating dagat. So that is April 23. Mark it in your calendar, mga kapatid, mga kaibigan, mga kapuso, kapamilya. Don't miss it, because it will change not only your life, it will change your community, it will change your country, your church, your school. What our founder of Plastic Bank is saying, let's become the people that the world needs. And that is we all have to consider, what we all have to do. And now, upang hindi kayo magboboring, next Friday, there is a super show coming also from an environmental advocate. It is Dan from Let's Do It Philippines, and they are our partners in crime. They do a very good job in different areas of sustainability. So if you wonder yourself, ano gagawin ko sa next Friday ng evening, join in again into Sustainable PH TV. I think that is a good time you invest, and not only watch us, become the person that the world needs, because each one of us can do it. Okay, friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learn a lot. You see what is the plastic situation, what will happen if we just keep going like this, and what we can do as system change to stop or reduce ocean plastic significantly, which needs all of us. Okay, and then join me again in 2 weeks when we talk again, usapan walang plastikan. Okay, thank you so much and take care. God bless you. Have a great evening and a great weekend, everybody. Bye.